The small private jet touched down smoothly on the tiny runway. The door opened, and out stepped one of the world's most famous soccer players, Cristiano Ronaldo. The bright sun made him squint for a moment before he put on his designer sunglasses. He turned back to offer his hand to Georgina Rodriguez, his girlfriend of 7 years. She took his hand and stepped out into the warm air of the Maldives. The couple had finally found time in their busy lives to take a vacation together. With 5 children at home and Cristiano's demanding soccer schedule, these moments alone were rare and special. They had chosen this small island for its privacy and beauty. Far from the cameras and fans that usually followed them everywhere, they hoped to relax and spend quality time together. Cristiano wore simple clothes, tan linen shorts, and a loose white t-shirt that showed his strong muscles. Even in casual clothes, he looked like the star that he was. Georgina looked beautiful in a light blue summer dress that flowed around her legs in the gentle breeze. Her long dark hair was tied back in a simple ponytail, and she wore minimal makeup. She didn't need any. Her natural beauty shone through. Their security team stayed back as they walked from the plane to the waiting car. 4 men in dark clothes watched carefully, but they knew to give the couple space. This was a private trip after all. "It's so beautiful here," Georgina said as she looked at the clear blue water surrounding the island. Her eyes sparkled with excitement. Cristiano squeezed her hand. "You are more beautiful," he said softly. A staff member from their resort greeted them with fresh coconut drinks and put flower necklaces around their necks. "Welcome to paradise," the woman said with a warm smile. "We have prepared your private villa as requested." The car took them along a winding road lined with palm trees. Everywhere they looked, they saw perfect white sand beaches and crystal clear water. Small wooden signs pointed to different parts of the resort: the spa, the restaurants, the diving center. After a 5-minute drive, they reached their villa. It stood on stilts over the water, connected to the shore by a wooden walkway. It was the most private accommodation on the island, completely hidden from other guests by thick tropical plants. Inside, they found a spacious living area with glass floors showing the ocean beneath. Fresh flowers filled vases throughout the rooms. A bottle of champagne sat in an ice bucket next to a fruit platter. Georgina walked straight to the back deck and gasped. The view was amazing. Nothing but blue water stretching to the horizon. A small infinity pool on their deck seemed to merge with the ocean beyond. "Do you like it?" Cristiano asked, coming up behind her and wrapping his arms around her waist. "It's perfect," she whispered, leaning back against his chest. The staff left them alone, and for the first time in months, they had complete privacy. No children needing attention, no training sessions, no photo shoots, no fans asking for selfies. Cristiano had been acting strange lately. Secretive phone calls, mysterious meetings. Georgina had noticed, but hadn't said anything. Now, watching him unpack his bag, she saw him quickly hide something in his pocket when he thought she wasn't looking. The rumors had been following them for years. When would they get married? Was he going to propose? Every vacation they took sparked new gossip. Georgina tried not to think about it too much. She was happy with their life together, with or without a ring. But something felt different about this trip. Cristiano had planned everything himself, which was unusual. He'd been checking his phone all day, as if waiting for an important message. And now they were here, in perhaps the most romantic place on earth, completely alone. As the sun began to set, turning the sky into a painting of orange and pink, Cristiano suggested they take a walk on the beach. "The perfect start to our perfect week," he said with a smile that hinted at secrets yet to be revealed. As the sun began to set, Cristiano and Georgina walked slowly along the beach. The warm sand felt good between their toes. Cristiano had changed into nicer clothes, khaki shorts, and a blue button-up shirt. Georgina now wore a simple white dress that made her tan skin glow in the golden light. They walked without talking for a while, just enjoying the peace. No cameras, no fans, no screaming children, just the sound of gentle waves and distant birds. "I arranged something special for dinner," Cristiano said, breaking the silence. He pointed ahead where Georgina could now see small lights flickering in the distance. As they got closer, Georgina's eyes grew wide. The hotel staff had set up a private table right on the beach. 10 tiki torches formed a circle around a small table covered with a white cloth. Rose petals were scattered on the sand. 2 chairs waited for them, and a waiter stood nearby. Cristiano, Georgina whispered, "This is beautiful." He smiled, clearly pleased that she liked the surprise. The waiter pulled out Georgina's chair and helped her sit. Then he poured 2 glasses of champagne, Georgina's favorite kind that Cristiano had specially ordered. "To us," Cristiano said, raising his glass, "and to 7 amazing years together." They touched glasses and sipped the bubbly drink. The waiter brought out their first course. Fresh seafood caught that morning. Cristiano, who usually followed a strict diet for soccer, allowed himself to enjoy the rich food. As they ate, they talked about many things. They remembered the day they first met at the Gucci store in Madrid where Georgina worked. Cristiano had come in to shop, and something about the beautiful shop assistant caught his eye. "You were so nervous," Georgina laughed. "The great Cristiano Ronaldo, afraid to ask me for my number." "I wasn't afraid," he said with a smile. "I was being careful. I knew you were special from the first moment." As the night grew darker, the stars came out. The staff lit more candles on their table and brought out their main course. A small band appeared and began to play soft music nearby. "Do you remember our first date?" Cristiano asked, reaching across the table to hold her hand. Georgina nodded. "Of course. We went to that small restaurant and tried to stay hidden from people. But someone recognized you anyway. And now look at us," he said, squeezing her hand. 5 children, houses around the world, and still together. Georgina noticed that Cristiano seemed nervous. He kept checking his pocket when he thought she wasn't looking. His foot tapped quickly under the table, something he did when he was anxious. After dinner, they moved to a small couch the staff had set up near their table. They sat close together, watching the moon create a silver path across the dark water. The band continued to play romantic songs. "Our children are growing up so fast," Georgina said, thinking about their big family at home. They had Cristiano Jr., who was now a teenager, twins Eva and Matteo, their daughter Alana, and their newest baby Bella. "They are," Cristiano agreed. "And they always ask me the same question." "What question?" Georgina asked. "They ask when I'm going to make you my wife," he said softly. Georgina's heart jumped. Was this the moment? Was he going to propose? She tried to stay calm. But then Cristiano's phone rang. He frowned and checked it. "I'm sorry, I have to take this. It's about tomorrow's surprise." He stepped away to take the call, leaving Georgina both relieved and disappointed. She watched him talking quietly on the phone, his back to her. Whatever he was planning, he wanted to keep it a secret. In the distance, a hotel worker took photos of them. Even in this remote place, they couldn't escape completely. By morning, pictures of their romantic dinner would be all over the internet, and fans would once again wonder if Cristiano had finally proposed. When he returned to the table, Cristiano suggested they go back to their villa. "Tomorrow is a big day," he said with a mysterious smile. "You should rest." As they walked back along the moonlit beach, Georgina couldn't help but wonder what Cristiano had planned. One thing was certain. This trip was going to be special. Cristiano woke up early, as he always did. Years of soccer training had made early rising a habit. He slipped quietly out of bed, careful not to wake Georgina. She was still sleeping peacefully, her long dark hair spread across the white pillow. He stepped onto the deck of their water villa and breathed in the fresh morning air. The sun was just starting to rise, painting the sky with soft pink and orange colors. Small fish swam in the clear water below the villa. It was going to be a perfect day. Cristiano checked his phone. There was a message from the boat captain. "Everything ready for 10 a.m. as planned." Good. His surprise for Georgina was all set. Back inside, he ordered breakfast to be delivered to their villa. When the food arrived, he set it up nicely on the deck table: fresh fruit, pastries, eggs, and coffee. Then he went to wake Georgina. "Good morning, beautiful," he said softly, touching her shoulder. "Breakfast is ready." Georgina opened her eyes slowly and smiled when she saw him. "What time is it?" she asked, still sleepy. 8:30. "We have plans today," Cristiano said. "A boat is coming for us at 10. They ate breakfast on the deck, enjoying the view and the peaceful morning. Georgina wore a simple silk robe over her nightdress. Her face was free of makeup, and Cristiano thought she had never looked more beautiful. "So what's this boat trip about?" Georgina asked, sipping her coffee. Cristiano smiled. "It's a surprise. Wear your swimsuit. We're going to see some amazing places." After breakfast, they got ready for the day. Georgina put on a red bikini and covered it with a light white dress. Cristiano wore swim shorts and a t-shirt. They packed a small bag with towels, sunscreen, and water. At exactly 10 o'clock, a sleek white boat pulled up to the small dock near their villa. A friendly captain greeted them and helped them aboard. The boat was luxurious, with comfortable seats and a small cabin. "Where are we going?" Georgina asked the captain. "Mr. Ronaldo has planned a tour of the best snorkeling spots around the islands," the captain explained. "We will visit 3 different places today." As the boat sped across the blue water, Cristiano put his arm around Georgina's shoulders. The wind blew through their hair, and they laughed together. This was freedom, far from their busy lives and the constant attention of fans and media. The captain stopped the boat at the first location. "This is Coral Garden," he said. "Many colorful fish and beautiful coral reef here." They put on their snorkeling masks and fins. Cristiano jumped into the water first, then turned to help Georgina. The water was warm and crystal clear. They could see all the way to the bottom. Underwater, they discovered a magical world. Bright fish in yellow, blue, and orange colors swam around them. The coral grew in strange and beautiful shades. Cristiano pointed to a sea turtle swimming slowly nearby. Georgina took a small waterproof camera from her bag and took pictures of Cristiano swimming. He posed playfully, making funny faces behind his mask. Then he took the camera and took pictures of her. Back on the boat, they dried off and looked at the photos together on the camera screen. In one picture, Georgina was giving a peace sign with her right hand. Cristiano noticed something and zoomed in on the photo. "What's that?" he asked, pointing to her hand. Georgina looked down at her finger. She was wearing a new ring on her right hand, a beautiful silver band with small diamonds. She had bought it for herself the week before. "Just a new ring I got," she said simply. Cristiano nodded, but something in his expression changed. He became quieter as the boat moved to the next location. What Georgina didn't know was that Cristiano had a very similar ring hidden in his bag, but his ring was meant for her left hand, not her right. His plan for a surprise proposal later in the trip now needed rethinking. He hadn't expected her to buy a ring that looked so much like the one he had carefully chosen. The captain, noticing Cristiano's sudden quiet mood, tried to cheer them up. "Next stop is even better. We might see some dolphins." As they headed to the next spot, Georgina took a selfie of them on the boat and posted it to her social media. The new ring was clearly visible on her finger. Within minutes, fans around the world were zooming in on the photo and asking the same question: "Is that an engagement ring?" The boat continued to the next snorkeling spot, but dark clouds were gathering in the sky. The captain looked worried as he checked the weather on his phone. "I'm sorry, Mr. Ronaldo," the captain said. "A storm is coming. We should go back to the resort." Cristiano nodded. He was disappointed that his planned day was being cut short, but safety came first. The boat turned around and headed back to the island. The waves were getting bigger, and the wind was picking up. "Hold on tight," the captain told them as the boat bounced over the waves. Georgina grabbed Cristiano's arm, and he pulled her close to him. By the time they reached the resort, rain was falling heavily. They ran from the dock to their villa, getting soaked along the way. Inside, they dried off with fluffy towels provided by the resort. "So much for our perfect day," Georgina said, looking out at the rain hitting the ocean. "We still have each other," Cristiano said, putting his arms around her from behind. "And we have this beautiful villa. We can find things to do inside." The villa had a large living room with comfortable couches and a big TV. There was also a shelf with books and board games for rainy days like this. "Let's play a game," Cristiano suggested. He grabbed a box from the shelf. It was a word game that they often played with their children at home. They sat cross-legged on the soft carpet and set up the game. Cristiano was very competitive, even in simple board games. He hated to lose, which made Georgina laugh. She knew this about him and often teased him about it. "If I win, you have to tell me what the big surprise is that you've been planning," Georgina said with a smile. Cristiano looked surprised. "What makes you think I'm planning something?" "I know you," she said. "The secret phone calls, checking your bag all the time. You're up to something." Cristiano just smiled and didn't answer. He focused on the game instead. They played for an hour, laughing and joking. In the end, Georgina won by a few points. "Now you have to tell me," she said, pointing a finger at him. "A deal is a deal," Cristiano admitted. "But I'll only tell you part of it. Tomorrow, we're going to visit a special place on the island. That's all I'm saying." Outside, the rain continued to fall. The wind howled around their villa. It was cozy inside, with the sound of rain on the roof. Cristiano made them hot chocolate, something he rarely allowed himself because of his strict diet. While they were sitting on the couch, Cristiano got an idea. He picked up his phone and took a picture of Georgina sipping her hot chocolate. She looked soft and natural, with her hair tied up in a messy bun and wearing comfortable clothes. "Can I post this?" he asked, showing her the photo. Georgina looked at it and nodded. This was unusual. Cristiano rarely posted personal photos without careful thought. He was very private about their relationship. He added a simple caption, "My piece." Then he posted it to his millions of followers. Within minutes, his phone was buzzing with notifications. Fans were shocked by the intimate photo. They weren't used to seeing this soft side of the famous soccer player. Comments flooded in. "Are they getting married? This is so sweet. She's wearing a ring. CR7 is in love." Later that evening, as the storm outside grew stronger, they decided to order room service for dinner. The staff brought food to their villa, setting it up in the dining area. They had seafood pasta, salad, and for dessert, a chocolate cake that Georgina loved. After dinner, they moved to the covered porch of their villa. The rain had slowed a bit, and they could sit outside and listen to the storm. Cristiano seemed lost in thought as he stared out at the dark ocean. "What are you thinking about?" Georgina asked. "Us," he said simply. "How far we've come." He reached for her hand and held it tight. Georgina noticed that he was looking at her new ring again. She thought about taking it off. It seemed to bother him for some reason. But before she could, Cristiano's phone rang. It was a video call from their children back home. Their faces lit up as they answered the call. The 5 children appeared on the screen, all talking at once, excited to see their parents. For the next hour, they forgot about rings and secrets and surprises. They were just a family, missing each other across the distance. Cristiano and Georgina woke up to sunshine streaming through the windows of their villa. The storm had passed during the night, leaving behind a fresh, clean feeling in the air. The ocean was calm again, sparkling blue under the morning sun. "Perfect weather for today's surprise," Cristiano said as they ate breakfast on their deck. He seemed excited, checking his watch several times. "Are you going to tell me where we're going?" Georgina asked, biting into a piece of fresh mango. "No," Cristiano said with a smile. "But wear comfortable clothes. And bring your camera. At 9 o'clock, A small car arrived to pick them up. The driver greeted them warmly and opened the doors for them. They drove away from the beach area, heading inland toward the center of the island. After 20 minutes, they arrived at a small village. Children playing soccer in the dirt road stopped to stare as Cristiano stepped out of the car. One boy recognized him and shouted his name. Soon, a small crowd of excited kids surrounded them. Cristiano smiled and greeted the children. He spoke to them in simple English, and they responded shyly at first, then with growing excitement. He looked completely at ease, squatting down to talk to the smallest children at their level. A tall man in a chef's outfit approached them. "Welcome to our village cooking school," he said, shaking their hands. "We are ready for your class today." Georgina looked at Cristiano in surprise. "Cooking class?" she asked. "You always say you want to learn how to cook more dishes," Cristiano explained. "So I arranged for us to learn how to make traditional Maldivian food." The chef led them to a simple but clean outdoor kitchen. Several local women were preparing ingredients on wooden tables. The smell of spices filled the air. "Today we will teach you to make mas honey, a tuna dish, gerudvaya, fish soup, and biskimia, pastries filled with tuna and vegetables," the chef explained. For the next 3 hours, Cristiano and Georgina learned how to cook these traditional dishes. The local women showed them how to mix spices, chop vegetables, and cook the fresh fish just right. Cristiano, who was used to having professional chefs prepare his meals, struggled a bit with chopping onions. Georgina laughed as tears ran down his face from the strong onions. "Not so easy, is it, soccer star?" she teased him. Cristiano took it all in good humor. He was having fun, even though cooking was not his strength. When it came time to flip fish in the pan, he tried to show off by tossing it high in the air. The fish missed the pan and landed on the floor. Everyone burst out laughing, and Georgina quickly took a video with her phone. "This is going on social media for sure," she said, giggling. "Please don't," Cristiano groaned, but he was smiling. It was nice to do something where he wasn't perfect for once. As they cooked, the chef asked them questions about their life together. "How long have you been married?" he asked innocently. Cristiano and Georgina exchanged a quick look. "We're not married," Georgina explained. "We've been together for 7 years." "Ah, I see," the chef said. "But you are on honeymoon." They both laughed at this. "No, just a vacation," Cristiano said. The chef looked confused. "But you seem like newlyweds," he insisted. "The way you look at each other." "Not yet," Cristiano said with a wink at Georgina. "But maybe someday." Georgina felt her heart beat faster at his words. Was he hinting at something? She tried to focus on cooking, but her mind was racing. When the food was ready, they all sat down at a long table to enjoy what they had made. The dishes were delicious, fresh and full of flavor. Cristiano, despite his strict diet, ate everything on his plate. "This is better than what my personal chef makes," he admitted to the local women, who beamed with pride. After the meal, the villagers brought out musical instruments and began to play traditional songs. Children danced in the center of the village, and soon they pulled Cristiano and Georgina into the circle to join them. As they danced together under the midday sun, surrounded by the smiling villagers, Georgina thought this was one of the best days of their trip so far. And from the way Cristiano kept holding her hand and smiling at her, she could tell he felt the same way. A young boy tugged on Cristiano's shirt. "Mister," he said in hesitant English, "is this pretty lady your wife?" Before Georgina could hear Cristiano's answer, one of the village women pulled her away to show her how to weave palm leaves into a basket. But she couldn't help wondering what he had said to the curious child. As the afternoon sun began to lower in the sky, Cristiano and Georgina said goodbye to the villagers. The children ran alongside their car for a short distance, waving and calling Cristiano's name. He waved back through the window, smiling. "That was wonderful," Georgina said once they were on their way back to the resort. "Thank you for arranging it." Cristiano took her hand. Did you hear what I told that little boy who asked if you were my wife? Georgina shook her head. No, I was pulled away to learn basket weaving. What did you say? Cristiano looked into her eyes. I said, soon, hopefully. Georgina's breath caught in her throat. She didn't know what to say. They had talked about marriage many times over the years, but Cristiano had always been careful not to make promises. He would say things like one day or when the time is right. But soon, hopefully, was much more definite. Before she could respond, the car stopped at a beautiful beach on the way back to their resort. Another surprise, Cristiano said, clearly changing the subject. We have one more activity today. A man was waiting for them on the beach next to two jet skis. He waved as they approached. Mr. Ronaldo, Ms. Rodriguez, welcome, the man said. Are you ready for some adventure? Georgina looked at the jet skis with excitement. She loved water sports and had been hoping they would try jet skiing during their trip. They changed into swimwear in a small beach hut. Georgina put on a life jacket over her bikini, and Cristiano did the same over his swim shorts. The instructor gave them a quick lesson on how to operate the jet skis safely. Race you to that small island, Cristiano challenged, pointing to a tiny patch of land about half a mile away. You're on, Georgina replied with a competitive smile. They both took off across the water, sending up sprays behind them. Cristiano was naturally athletic and quickly got the hang of controlling the jet ski. But Georgina was no beginner either. She leaned into the turns and pushed her jet ski to full speed. To her surprise, she reached the small island first. Cristiano arrived a few seconds later, looking both impressed and a little annoyed that he had lost. You've been practicing, he accused with a smile. Maybe I'm just better than you at some things, she teased back. They rode the jet skis for an hour, racing each other and performing turns in the open water. By the time they returned to the beach, they were both laughing and soaked with sea spray. The sun was starting to set as they drove back to their resort. Georgina took out her phone and began recording videos of the beautiful sunset to send to their children. She knew the kids would want to see what they were doing. Tell Daddy to say hi, she said to Cristiano. He waved at the camera. Hi kids, we miss you. Today we learned to cook local food and rode jet skis. Tomorrow we have another adventure. What adventure? Georgina asked after she stopped recording. You haven't told me about tomorrow's plans. It's going to be very special, was all Cristiano would say. Back at their villa, they showered and changed for dinner. Cristiano made a reservation at the resort's fanciest restaurant. When they arrived, they were led to a private dining room with a glass floor. Fish and small sharks swam beneath their feet as they ate. During dinner, a young girl approached their table with her parents. She was shy but determined to meet her hero. The girl asked Cristiano for an autograph, which he gladly gave her. Are you two married? The girl asked innocently. Cristiano smiled at the child. Not yet, he said. The girl looked confused. Why not? Don't you love each other? Her parents looked embarrassed by the direct question, but Cristiano didn't mind. Yes, we love each other very much, he said. Sometimes even people who love each other very much wait for the right moment for big steps. As the family walked away, Georgina looked at Cristiano with curiosity. And when is the right moment? She asked. Cristiano just smiled mysteriously and changed the subject. Let's order dessert. I hear the chocolate cake here is amazing. Later that night, as Georgina slept, Cristiano sat on the deck of their villa looking at the stars. He took out his phone and looked at a photo saved there, a beautiful diamond ring that was currently hidden in his suitcase. He had been carrying it with him for months, waiting for the perfect moment. Maybe tomorrow would finally be that moment. The next morning, Cristiano seemed nervous. He checked his phone often and kept looking at his watch. When Georgina asked what was wrong, he just smiled and said everything was fine. Today is a special day, he finally told her over breakfast. We'll leave at sunset for tonight's surprise. Another surprise. Georgina laughed. This whole trip has been full of surprises. This one is different, Cristiano said, his voice serious. It's the main reason I planned this vacation. Those words made Georgina's heart beat faster. Could this be it? After 7 years and 5 children together, was Cristiano finally going to propose? She tried not to get her hopes up too high. There had been many times before when she thought a proposal was coming, but it never did. They spent the day relaxing at the resort. They swam in the private pool of their villa and read books on comfortable lounge chairs. Cristiano seemed distracted, often going inside to make phone calls. Each time he returned, he looked both nervous and excited. At 5 o'clock, Cristiano suggested Georgina start getting ready for the evening. Wear something nice, he said, but also comfortable. We'll be outside. Georgina chose a simple white dress that fell to her ankles. It was elegant but easy to move in. She put on light makeup and left her hair loose, the way Cristiano liked it. When she came out of the bathroom, she found Cristiano dressed in khaki pants and a white button-up shirt with the sleeves rolled up. He looked handsome and nervous. In his hand was a small box. Georgina's breath caught when she saw it. It was the right size for a ring. But instead of opening it, Cristiano put it in his pocket. "Are you ready?" he asked. She nodded, trying to hide her disappointment. Maybe the box held something else, like earrings or a necklace. A golf cart was waiting to take them to another part of the island. As they rode along the paths of the resort, the sky turned beautiful shades of pink and orange. The driver took them to a secluded beach that Georgina hadn't seen before. A wooden dock extended out into the water. At the end of the dock was a small boat decorated with strings of tiny lights. A man in a captain's uniform waited beside it. "Your sunset cruise, Mr. Ronaldo," the captain said with a bow. Georgina smiled with delight as Cristiano helped her into the boat. Inside, a table was set for 2 with candles and flowers. Soft music played from hidden speakers. As the boat moved slowly away from the island, waiters served them champagne and appetizers. The sunset was spectacular, turning the whole sky and sea golden. "This is magical," Georgina said, looking out at the view. Cristiano reached across the table and took her hand. "7 years ago, I met you in that store in Madrid. I knew then that you were special. You didn't even ask for my number that first day," Georgina reminded him with a smile. "I was nervous," Cristiano admitted. Even famous soccer players get nervous sometimes. They talked about their life together as the boat circled the island. They remembered the birth of their daughter Alana, and then baby Bella last year. They talked about how Cristiano Jr. was growing up to be just like his father. They laughed about the twins, Eva and Matteo, and their endless energy. "We have a beautiful family," Cristiano said, "but something is still missing." Georgina looked at him questioningly. "What could be missing?" "We have 5 wonderful children, houses around the world, more money than we could ever spend." Cristiano stood up and moved to her side of the table. Georgina's heart began to race. He was reaching into his pocket, where she had seen him put the small box earlier. But before he could take it out, his phone rang loudly. Cristiano looked at the screen and frowned. "I'm sorry," he said. "It's my agent. I have to take this." He walked to the other side of the boat to take the call, leaving Georgina sitting alone at the table. She sighed and looked out at the darkening sky. Stars were beginning to appear, and the moon was rising over the water. Whatever Cristiano was planning, it seemed that once again, the moment had been interrupted. As she waited for him to finish his call, Georgina took out her own phone and checked her messages. She posted a photo of the beautiful sunset to her social media with the caption, "Perfect evening with my love." She didn't realize that when she put her hand on top of Cristiano's for the photo, they both appeared to be wearing matching rings. Her new right-hand ring and his watch that had a silver band that looked similar in the dim light of the boat. Cristiano returned to the table looking annoyed after his phone call. "Sorry about that," he said. "Sometimes business can't wait, even on vacation." Georgina smiled understandingly. "It's okay. Is everything all right?" Yes, just some details about a new contract. He sat down and took a deep breath. The moment had been ruined, and he seemed unsure how to get back to what he had been about to do. The waiters brought their main course, fresh lobster and vegetables. They ate in silence for a few minutes. The boat continued its slow journey around the island. The sky was now dark, filled with stars that seemed brighter here than back home. Cristiano's phone buzzed with notifications. He glanced at it, and his eyes widened. "What's wrong?" Georgina asked. "Your photo," he said, showing her his screen. "The one you just posted. Everyone thinks we're wearing matching rings." Georgina looked at the photo she had posted just minutes ago. It did look like they both had silver bands on their fingers. Her new ring was clearly visible, and what looked like a matching ring could be seen on Cristiano's hand, though it was actually just the edge of his watch. "The comments are crazy," Cristiano said, scrolling through them. "Did they get married in secret? Oh my gee, they're wearing rings. Congratulations, CR7. Georgina laughed. "Should I delete it?" Cristiano thought for a moment, then shook his head. "No, let them talk. It's funny." As they finished dinner, the boat headed back toward the island. But instead of returning to the dock where they had started, the captain steered toward a small, empty beach lit with torches. "What's this?" Georgina asked. "The final part of tonight's surprise," Cristiano said, looking nervous again. The boat stopped near the shore, and the captain helped them onto a small rowboat to reach the beach. As they got closer, Georgina could see that the sand had been decorated with flower petals forming a path. Candles in glass jars lined the way. They followed the path of flowers across the beach to where a large blanket had been laid out. Pillows were arranged for comfort, and a bottle of champagne waited in an ice bucket. A portable speaker played soft music. "This is beautiful," Georgina whispered. They sat on the blanket, and Cristiano poured them each a glass of champagne. His hand shook slightly as he handed Georgina her glass. "I had a whole speech planned," he said, "but now I'm not sure what to say." "About what?" Georgina asked, though her heart was racing with hope. Cristiano looked up at the stars for a moment, then back at her. "About us. About our future." He reached into his pocket and pulled out the small box she had seen earlier. Georgina held her breath. But as he was about to open it, they heard voices and saw flashlights moving on the beach not far away. "I thought this beach was supposed to be private tonight," Cristiano said with frustration. A group of tourists was walking along the shore, taking photos. One of them spotted Cristiano and Georgina. "Oh my God, it's Cristiano Ronaldo," a woman shouted. Soon, a small crowd had gathered nearby, pointing and taking photos with their phones. Security guards from the resort quickly arrived to keep the fans at a distance, but the private moment was gone. Cristiano put the box back in his pocket with a sigh. "Maybe this isn't the right time after all," he said quietly. Georgina tried to hide her disappointment. "It's okay," she said, squeezing his hand. "We don't need a perfect moment. We have our whole lives." They finished their champagne as the security guards kept the excited fans away. The romantic evening had not gone as planned, but Georgina was still happy. Just knowing that Cristiano had put so much thought into this night meant a lot to her. As they walked back to the boat, one of the resort staff approached them. "Mr. Ronaldo, I'm so sorry about the interruption. The manager offers his deepest apologies and would like to make it up to you." "How?" Cristiano asked. "Tomorrow, we can arrange for you to have an entire day with no interruptions. We know a place where no one will find you." The staff member handed Cristiano a brochure for a small private island nearby. "It's completely uninhabited, just a short helicopter ride away." Cristiano looked at the brochure, then at Georgina. "What do you think? One more try for a perfect day?" Georgina smiled. "Yes. Third time's the charm, right?" As they returned to their villa for the night, fans around the world continued to speculate about the mysterious matching rings in Georgina's photo. Little did they know how close they had come to the truth, and how another opportunity awaited just a helicopter ride away. The morning of their last full day on vacation arrived with perfect weather. The sky was clear blue, and a gentle breeze kept the temperature comfortable. Cristiano woke up early and made several phone calls while Georgina was still sleeping. He wanted everything to be perfect today. When Georgina opened her eyes, she found a single red rose on the pillow next to her. Cristiano was standing on the deck, looking out at the ocean. "Good morning," she said, joining him outside with the rose in her hand. "Ready for our final adventure?" he asked with a smile. His eyes were bright with excitement. After a quick breakfast, they were driven to a small helipad at the edge of the resort. A sleek helicopter waited for them, its blades already turning slowly. "I've never been in a helicopter before," Georgina said, feeling both nervous and excited. "Don't worry, it's perfectly safe," Cristiano assured her, helping her climb aboard. The pilot greeted them and gave them headsets so they could talk during the flight. As the helicopter lifted into the air, Georgina gasped at the view. The island looked even more beautiful from above. They could see the clear water, the white beaches, and the green jungle in the center of the island. "Look there," the pilot said through their headsets, pointing ahead. "That's where we're going." A tiny island appeared in the distance. It was like something from a dream, a perfect circle of white sand surrounded by turquoise water, with a small patch of palm trees in the middle. "It's beautiful," Georgina said. "And completely private," Cristiano added. "Just for us today." The helicopter landed on a small clearing near the beach. As they stepped out, Georgina saw that a large tent had been set up among the palm trees. A path of seashells led from the helicopter to the tent. "Someone has been busy this morning," she said, impressed by the preparation. "I had some help," Cristiano admitted. Inside the tent was a comfortable seating area with cushions and low tables. A small refrigerator held drinks and food. There were books, games, and even a portable speaker for music. "This is our base for the day," Cristiano explained. "We have the whole island to explore. No fans, no photographers, no phone calls." They spent the morning walking around the tiny island. It took less than an hour to circle the entire place. They collected shells, spotted colorful birds in the trees, and even saw a baby turtle making its way to the ocean. After lunch, they went swimming in a crystal clear water. Fish of every color swam around them unafraid. Cristiano and Georgina played in the water like children, splashing each other and laughing. As the afternoon went on, Cristiano seemed to grow more serious. He kept checking his watch and looking at the sky. "Is something wrong?" Georgina finally asked. "No, just waiting for the right moment," he said mysteriously. When the sun began to set, Cristiano suggested they walk to the other side of the island to watch it. He carried a small backpack with him. They found a perfect spot on a raised area of sand. Cristiano spread out a blanket he had brought in the backpack. They sat together, watching as the sun turned the sky into a painting of red, orange, and purple colors. "This has been the perfect vacation," Georgina said, leaning her head on Cristiano's shoulder. "It's not over yet," he replied. He reached into the backpack and pulled out the small box that Georgina had seen twice before. This time, there were no interruptions. No phone calls, no fans, no one else on the entire island. Just the two of them, the sunset, and the sound of gentle waves. Cristiano turned to face Georgina and took her hand in his. "I had a big speech planned," he said. "But I think simple is better. We've been together for 7 amazing years. We have 5 beautiful children. You've been by my side through everything. You make me happy in a way no one else ever has." He opened the box, revealing a stunning diamond ring that sparkled in the sunset light. "Georgina Rodriguez, will you marry me?" Tears filled Georgina's eyes as she nodded. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, I will marry you." Cristiano slipped the ring onto her finger, then pulled her into his arms for a long kiss. When they finally broke apart, they were both crying happy tears. "I've been trying to do this for the entire vacation," Cristiano admitted with a laugh. something kept interrupting every time. "It was worth the wait," Georgina said, looking at her new ring. "This moment is perfect." As the stars began to appear in the darkening sky, they took a selfie together, Georgina proudly showing her engagement ring to the camera. Before posting it, she wrote a simple caption: "I said yes." When they returned to their resort that evening, the staff had prepared a special celebration dinner for them. As word spread about their engagement, messages from friends, family, and fans flooded their phones. Their vacation had indeed heated up marriage talk, and this time, the rumors were finally true.